Then okay, sorry. So yeah, so in the next few, I think few weeks, we'll be spending time to learn about trading. I'll be teaching you personally, and teach you things that I know that personally, of course, has cost me a few $1,000s to learn, which I'll be teaching you for free, and getting you introduced to the world of trading. So today is basically to just lay the foundation and also to to basically get everyone to understand the modalities and how this is going to run, the full picture. So to begin with, I just want to, like I stated, or like I mentioned earlier, about I think about 9 or 8 thereabout out of the applicants, were chosen out of those who apply for, this free mentorship program. And you were among those that were chosen. So I want to say congratulations. And my expectation and my hope is that, for everyone that was chosen, you would have, what it takes to be able to carry on, because trading, it's something that is highly rewarding. But just like every other thing, it's highly rewarding, but it's also demanding in terms of, what you need to put into it. And I love making this illustration when it comes to trading. A lot of people want success, but very few people are willing to put in the work, that success demands of them. Trading is something that can really, really be, be rewarding, but at the same time, it would demand, work from your own end. So in the few days and few weeks that I'll be spending together, we'll be going through a lot in terms of, your knowledge in trading, teaching you about trading, particularly showing you, what I know about trading and, just building that foundation and that understanding and knowledge around, trading the financial market. So just by way of expectations, what you should expect, first is that you'll be introduced to trading. You understand what it's about. You would understand, the intricacies of trading, how to interpret the charts and all of that, using, of course, the way I trade. Of course, there are 1,000,001 ways, that people trade the market, but I'm going to be showing you the simple, straight to the point way that I look at the market. I also trade the market. So this is something that will be highly rewarding. And just to set the expectation right, my expectation, of course, like you saw, I believe when you were applying, one of the questions asked was how long or how, what time are you willing to invest into learning about trading? And lots of you selected, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1 year plus, and all of that. And those were all things, that you selected, which is great. And I want to believe, that you're actually going to be sticking to that, and are really going to see it through, because the statistics show that over 96% of people who attempt trading fail. And the reason why they fail is simply because a lot of people, after they start trying, they take some losses and then they run away. I was that kind of a person, a few years back. After I took some losses, I ran away completely. But of course, that has changed. But that's the reality of a lot of people. They take losses, and then they run away, no mentorship, no proper guidance, and then they just run away and they say, hey, I can do this thing. But for people who stay on and really learn and develop the necessary skills, they're the ones who eventually down the road, maybe a few years, 2, 3 years, 5 years, they become all recognizable because people begin to wonder, oh, I used to know this person, but hey, this person seems to have, caught on something that's changed their life. And that is what trading can do for you. And also, I tell people this, that when it comes to trading, people go to universities to spend 4 years, 5 years, 7 years to, acquire a degree. In most cases, some of these degrees, they even struggle to find jobs. Even if they get jobs, these jobs can hardly pay, and really give them a livelihood that is worth, the time they spent in school. Trading, on the other hand, it's something that if you spend and you put in the time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years, imagine you be in a position where you can make like, $1,000, just within a few hours trading. And that is what you can do, in a few years from now, if you commit yourself to it. So to set the expectation right, I don't expect, or you shouldn't put an expectation on yourself where you say, oh, I'm just going to learn this thing for 2 months and then I'm going to become rich. No, that would be the very wrong expectation to start with. It should rather be, this is something that can reward me. And if people can spend 4, 5 years, 7 years to, in school to acquire degrees, that when they come out, some of them struggle a lot to get jobs. And then here's trading, that I can learn this skill and this skill can be with me for life. And I can be in a position where I can be making even salaries of, what the entirety of someone's salary in a year, in a day or a few hours. And I can do that over and over again. Then this is something that is worth my time, something I should sit down, relax and really learn properly. So this is actually going to set the foundation for all of that. And with that in mind, I want you to just make sure that your expectations are right. You don't have too much that you're putting on yourself with respect to, learning how to trade. I can tell you for sure. Let me just share a little story with you. Back in 2015, the first time I decided I wanted to trade Forex, I started, and then I even, got some money, I even borrowed some money to do it. But then just within, I'm not sure I even lasted a month, I blew the money. When that happened, I decided never again. I'm not going to do this ever again, and I completely ran away from it. But now what I learned from that is, and the reason why I ran away from that, first off, it was because I had nobody who I really knew that was successful in trading. I knew about people who said they trade, but I really didn't know anyone who could trade. And so I ran away from it because I couldn't really, I had no role model that I could look at and say, hey, this person actually is doing this thing and is successful. So I think I should learn from this person. I think I can learn from this person. So there was no one that I could really learn that from. So that made me to run away completely from it. But over the years, after a while, I found people who, I felt were successful and I could see evidence that they were successful in trading. I decided to go back into it. And that was how, I found myself back in trading. Now, that is just to let you know that if you have the wrong expectations, you may burn your hands. And also, if you quit too early, you may, lose a lot of opportunities, or you may lose a lifetime of opportunities, basically, because you just fall into the statistics of the people who try and then they run away because, it looks tough and all of that. But in this, it's true, when you think of the statement that says, that gold, you can't find gold on the surface. So anything that is worth it, anything that, is worth its weight in gold, you can't just do it for 2 months and say, hey, I think I'm going to become rich, a trader next, by next month or something. No, anything that is, that is worth its weight in gold takes time. If you've spent time to learn any skill, which I know for some of you, you've learned some skills in life, you discover that maybe when you started, people were laughing at you, people were not appreciative of, what you could do. But because you kept at it, after a few years, you became an expert in it. And then now they all respect you that you can do this, you can do that. The same thing also with trading. Never come to trading with the mindset that, hey, after, a few months, I'm going to become, this rich or this successful. You may be disappointed. But if your mindset is, okay, so I'm going to do this thing, and I know that this thing can be rewarding, and I'm going to take my time to really learn this thing, I will fall a number of times like a child. I will crawl, I will fall, but after a while, the child learns to walk. That's the same mindset you should also bring to trading. So if you learn to crawl, if you learn to fall, after a while, you will learn to walk. It just must happen. That is nature. So that's the same thing too with trading. So with that said, well, I believe you now have the right expectations. Now, the next thing is on timeline and schedule. What is this going to look like, and what's the training going to look like? You're going to be receiving another email with details of, the days that we'll be training, and also the link to the platform we'll be using to have the training. We may not necessarily continue to use this. It all depends. I'll see if that's if we're changing the platform. But you'll receive the timeline on how we're going to be meeting. So the goal is to have about 3 meetings, in a week, about 3 hours. One will be on Wednesday, or Wednesday time such as this. And then on Saturday. So Saturday, we'll be having a meeting on Saturday morning and then Saturday evening. So 3 hours basically per week. And the goal is to be able to get you as quickly as possible to understand, to see the market, the way I see the market, understand, and also ask questions, while also you're guided. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to be at a point where you can say you really understand this thing. This is not fiction. This is not people doing guesswork or people just, gambling. No, I know how this thing works. I have an understanding. So that's what we're going to be doing. So the details, of our meetings and all of that will be communicated via email after now. But that's just to give you, a picture of what it's going to look like. Now, it's going to be intensive. I'm going to be sharing a lot with you, and it's going to be really intensive. And my goal is to really see how I can transfer what I think I know to you, such that you can understand and see what I see when I look at a chart. If I just share my screen, let me just do this. Okay. Just a sec. Let me share my screen. Okay, great. So I believe you can see my screen. A sec, okay, cool. All right, so now you can see my screen. This is basically my trading, my trading platform. And I'm going to show you, what this looks like. Now, this was a trade, for example, I took this evening. You could see here, this was, so I'm not sure your knowledge about this, but maybe some of you know, but this is like a 1 to 5 trade. What that means is that if I reached 1,000, I simply made $5,000. If I reached, whatever, if I reached 1 to 5, that means whatever I reached, I made 5 times of that. That's the meaning of this. So that just gives you an understanding. So we're going to be using this platform is called TradingView, to analyze the markets, to look at the markets in different ways, to also understand how I trade the market, what I look out for, and the different things basically I look out for while I'm trading. Now, this is going to be, I can tell you that this is really, really going to be life-changing. That is the basic truth. It's going to be life-changing. And if you stick around, if you put in the commitment, you put in the time, and you really want to learn this, your life will be literally unrecognizable in a few years from now. So in the next few weeks rather, we're going to be spending time to go through these things, such that you understand, how to look at the chart, you understand how to carry out analysis. You can see this is still, of course, a live market. The candles are still being formed. This is a 1-minute chart. So I'm really going to be sharing with you a lot that I know about trading, and I've spent, a few thousands of dollars, to really learn these things, and I'm going to be sharing with you for free. So, well, I'll first say that, of course, you're lucky, and congratulations also for, for applying first off, and then for joining, because a few people would only know about this after we've gone far, and then the opportunity would no more be available, or it's no more available. I wouldn't do any training for free again. So the Paruto Capital Stock and Profit course will be launched sometime this month, if not in January, and it's going to be a paid service. So I'm not going to be doing any free stuff. So congratulations, because you're getting into this. You're getting this for free. And yeah, so that's that. Then next I would just want to mention is excuse me, commitment on your own part. One thing I want you to do is to get ready. If you need to get a note, like literally get a note if you need to get a note, because this is information, that can really, really change your life. So you want to make sure that, you get all the information, you're prepared, and you have, everything that you need to have in place to ensure that you really make this, a success. So if you need to get a note, your commitment is of paramount importance to how you grow. There is so much. They say you can take a horse to the water side or to the river or to the stream and all of that, but you can't force the horse to drink water. So I will try as much as possible to communicate my knowledge to you, but that doesn't necessarily mean, of course, that I can really, or I can force you to learn, right? I can force you to learn. I can force you to know what I know. So your own personal commitment to say, hey, this is something I want, and I'm willing to make sure I get all the knowledge I need to get to make this a success, will be very important to show in ensuring that you become a success. Then the next thing I want to talk about is, I've mentioned this over and over again, that trading is a lifetime, it's an opportunity of a lifetime, or it's something that can change your life, literally. So I want you to have that mindset that, hey, I'm coming into this, and I'm coming into this to put in my best, everything that I've got, literally, to ensure, that I become a success, in a few days and a few weeks, few months or few years from now. Different people, learn differently. There are people who, it takes them, few years to really learn about trading, while there are some other people, it takes them, sometimes, not depending on the work they put in and also the psychology, their mindsets and all of that, it takes them not too long to learn, but some other people, it takes them long. So, but it really doesn't matter. The most important thing is that I am here and I'm here to stay. I want to learn this thing and I want to learn it. Now, what I also want to add to this is this: trading is not, you shouldn't view trading as a hobby. If you view it as a hobby, then you can't go far. You have to view it like a business. Literally, it has to be something that you see it like a business. You're saying this thing is a business. I want to be in the business of trading. So you must see it as a business. If you see it as a business, then it will help you to have the right mindset. And what that simply means is you begin to think like a businessman. How do I, sacrifice? How do I put in the work? How do I plan? How do I do this? When you take it that way, then it changes the mindset you have towards it. Unfortunately, a lot of people who come into trading come with, very, I would say, wonderful expectations. So you must remove, during the course, we'll be going through some of this during the psychology series I'll be having with you on how to remove the garbage, so that your mindset is right. You have the right expectation, right? So, oh, sorry about that. Okay, so anyways, that's that, about all that we're going to be doing. So I believe, sorry, I'm sharing this. Okay, so I believe anyways that, with this, with a few things I've shared, that you now have, your mindset ready, with respect to, what the expectation should be from your own part, and also what the timeline, and schedule is going to be in terms of our weekly, meetings, and then also, the commitment that's required on your own aspect, and generally, how you should prepare yourself. So with this, I think we'll just lay the foundation for the introduction for today. So the next meeting we're going to be having is going to be on Saturday. So you should look forward to it. Also look forward to it in your email. This information, the information for the meeting will also be sent to your email, so you can look forward to it. And yeah, and basically that's it. So I wish you success. And I look forward to really seeing what you would become when you learn this skill and you begin to run with it, literally. So thank you so much for coming. We don't have much time again, but let me know if you have a question in the chat. You can maybe just type it, and then maybe I can just answer before we round up. We have about 5 minutes or 7 thereabouts to to wrap this up. So if you have a question, just quickly ask in the chat. If not, I think I'll call this a day. So I'm just waiting. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't seem I'm seeing any question. Okay. So perfect. So if there are no questions, so this is just perfect. So just look forward to, an email in your inbox with respect to the first proper training that we're going to start on Saturday. And then I wish you success, and I look forward to sharing more with you then. So thank you so much, and do enjoy your evening, everyone. Bye-bye. A question is coming in. Yes, there'll be 3 meetings. No, not in a day. 3 meetings in a week. Wednesday evening, and then Saturday morning, and Saturday evening. Yeah. Okay, I mentioned the list to know. So Wednesday evening, Saturday morning, Saturday evening. That's the 3 meetings. Yeah, 1 hour each, most likely. Yeah. All right then. So I guess that's it. So bye and enjoy your day.